like somebody that just be bodying everything. All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke for way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all in nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can. Yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young. Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you did.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. And on the return, here comes Adam Jones. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. They run with Breida. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Now Watson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll run for it. This is Mack. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. I think that's Mack who's still down. Yeah, it is. Mack apparently shaking. Two first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now it's Breida. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The numbers for him from a week ago. 19 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Right back to him on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Richmond.
From the red zone now, Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up first and goal. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
He'll get it up the middle. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up second and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. A shotgun snap for Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Ram fans in this old stadium on their feet. Third and goal. Now it's Watson. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. Fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They've already gone for it and made it once on this opening drive. They're going to try it again on fourth down. They'll run it with Mack. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
And he'll be brought
Personal
down.
foul.
That's a face mask.
Face mask.
Certainly looked
Defense.
like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation.
Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now Love. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Love. That's complete over the middle to Callaway. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets them up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Throwing on 3rd down, Love. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Reset.
Here's Breida. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. Open man, Smith-Schuster. It's complete. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now Mack. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
This is Breida. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Credit the tackle to Navarro Bowman.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
To play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
Reset, reset, reset.
Now a carry from Mack. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
4th and inches, does he get the first? You bet he does. He knows exactly where he needs to be, and he's going to fight his way forward to get a couple of yards and ensure he keeps the chains moving.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. To throw is Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 2nd down, here's Love. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On 4th down, here's the veteran Shane Leckler to punt it away. Back deep is Marcus Sherrills. Fielded just inside the 20. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show. We now proceed to the start of the 2nd half. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Tackle made by Deidron Sinnott.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He completes this to Sutton. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how.
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big conversion there for the Rams on 3rd down. 44 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Williams. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And that is incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
They run again with Breida. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, it's Mack. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. On 1st down, Watson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, Watson. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Dante Fowler with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the 1st down conversion. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz...
Back now in Los Angeles. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator is relying on some of the assistants to tell him what offensive personnel is hitting the field so he can adjust accordingly. They weren't able to stop him on that run.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. To throw on 2nd is Watson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Here's Watson on the sneak. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Deshaun Watson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? 1st and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now a first down throw. Luck. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You circle the Pro Bowl? Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Now it's Luck. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminated.
The result, a first down as a quick slant gets him 14. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To the air again, Luck. And his throw here's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They go play action here on first down. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Benjamin Watson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams have taken the lead here in the 4th. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws. They become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 17-14. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Reset.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. On 1st down, it's Watson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a toss play, it's Breida. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And his kick here is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now Luck. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there as they move the chains. First down now, but that clock rolling. Luck. He's going to look deep down the field. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
Here's Shane Leckler now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now it's Watson. Trying to lay one up deep. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Right back to him on first down. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right, you don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to him.
And now this first drive in OT continues. And credit the tackle to Cliff Averill.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Two minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And down inside the 15 he goes. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime, as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime, as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And his kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line. Partner, a great game that we got to see, and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Seahawks, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for L.A., it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you.